to reduce emissions, and this is where we disagree. Ms. Berman and others who are opposed to our pipelines argue that we must wind down oil sands production as quickly as possible. And we must stop Albertans from getting fair value for our resources on world markets by building new pipelines. In essence, they say we must sacrifice the jobs and well-beings of hundreds of thousands of working families. Now, of course, they don't put it exactly like that, but that is the implication, and quite frankly, that is the outcome. How people who work in the energy industry are supposed to put food on the table isn't a question that gets talked about. And I submit that the approach of anti-pipeline activists is a disaster not only for working people, but quite frankly for effective climate action as well. Because if we write off the jobs and the livelihoods of hundreds of thousands of working women and men, I guarantee you, we will write off the ability to move forward on climate or quite frankly on just about any other progressive change. After all, the reality is this, the question I ask is this: who benefits when working women and men are treated as history's losers? Well, I will say to you that it is generally not the people who are fighting for the public good. As we see around the world, reality TV stars, climate change conspiracy theorists, and right-wing demagogues are the ones who flourish when working people are kicked to the curb. Building a new pipeline to the West Coast will not, I repeat, it will not increase emissions from our oil sands. A new pipeline will simply increase the return we all get for the resources we, as Albertans, all own.
The fact is that we have a difference of opinion over the Trans Mountain pipeline, and I simply, looking at the numbers, don't think it's true. We could build 10 pipelines, and it wouldn't address the critical question of high cost for this industry. This is an industry that has to face the fact that high carbon, high cost fuels are being netted out of the market, and a lot of the world's largest financial institutions are moving away. And in Alberta, we need to plan for that. So part of the reason I was here today was to say that it's time to actually do the math and plan for the changes that are happening around the world and support greater diversification in the province. That doesn't mean that the oil sands are going to or should shut down overnight. It means that they're big enough, and we need to plan now for a peak and a decline in emissions. It's not a real climate plan at this moment in history when we're experiencing fires and floods if we don't peak and decline emissions. And right now, we don't have a plan for that. And I think we have to look to find common ground and common purpose. We all want to have a strong economy. We all want to have resilient communities and clean, safe jobs. And the question is how? The idea that pipelines are answers to climate change is absurd. You don't buy more cigarettes to quit smoking. The fact is that we need to figure out how we build a new economy. And I think we should have a lot of faith in Albertans there. Albertans know how to build. Albertans are innovators. And governments should be leading to try and find a way to build the new economy and not be defending the growth of what we know we need to move away from.